All right, everybody, this is the Simplicity Courier zero turn 48-inch riding mower. And if you look at the owner's manual, you would be forgiven for assuming that the only belt on this thing is the one that drives the blades. But I'm here to tell you it's got a second belt, and it's the one that drives the wheels. So if you've got a problem with the drivetrain belt, you're SOL, according to the documentation from Simplicity. While the manual does have a diagram of what you see in orange here, the blade belt, it doesn't actually show you the drive belt. So I've kind of taken liberty to draw on top of a schematic of the mower overhead view with where all the various pulleys are. That'll help you as you're trying to figure out how to install this drive belt. The arrows are pointing at the last pulley that you'll use, so when you're installing a belt, whether it's the orange one or the blue one, that arrow is pointing at the final installation point. Now it's important to know that if you slip the belt on this thing, it's probably not going to do well. Those belts have Kevlar in them, and once they stretch out, they just keep coming right off. At least that's what mine did. So down here underneath the seat, you're going to find a sticker that's got the part number that you need for your belts. Getting to the belt is a challenge. It's down low, it doesn't have access ports. I've got this camera angled so you can see there's a white fan sitting on top of the left drive transmission. On top of that fan there's a pulley, and that's where the belt goes to drive the wheels. I'm using the Mojack that I got at Tractor Supply. I will say it's not ideal. The hydrostatic transmission pieces here are a little bit lower than this thing fully folded up, so getting it under there was a bit of a challenge. Your mileage may vary, but what we can see at this point is, first, you can see a little bit of that pulley and fan assembly with the belt underneath the fan. That belt should never get under the fan. Get down low, you can see the tension. This particular pulley right here, that's part of this. There's the clutch. It's got a pulley on top. And then further down, we've got the two tensioning pulleys. Annoying fact number one, because the mower belt is on a pulley that's on the same space as the drive belt, you have to take the mower blade belt off. To get to the mower belt, to disconnect it, you got to get underneath this foot plate. So undo this and it'll pop right off. And the prescribed method, once you get in here, is to actually remove it from this pulley. Annoying fact number two is the brake levers are also above that. Now, it's connected by a spring there, so we should be able to disconnect that spring and get past that brake lever. Alright, that popped right off. You can see I've already released the spring from the brake lever. So from this point, we should be able to pull that drive belt just right over that assembly. And off she comes. We're now free to remove this from the rest of the mower. Actually have to take the belt off of these two pulleys, and it's loose enough that it'll just come right off, and then we can start removing the rest of it. At this point I'm literally just pulling it over everything. It's hard to get in there. It's got to get over the top of these pulleys. And the last pulley is this one in the center. I'm going to pop it over that. And out she comes. We have these two pulleys that are kind of midship on the mower. The one on the left has the tensioner, the one on the right does not have a spring. That's where I'm going first. And so basically, I get the belt over that center pulley to the right of the clutch and pulley assembly, and then down to that pulley. It's got to go over that orange bar that you see there right in the middle. So trying to record this and actually do the work, unfortunately I couldn't get the camera between me and the mower. So using this diagram, the first pulley that I put this over was that front right pulley, brought it back around the clutch pulley up to that front left pulley, and then at the back of the mower I installed first the right hydrostat pulley and then the left one. The last one where all the tension is, and that's going to be the hardest, is this one right here in the middle. and we're going to have to use the tension lever, and I'll show you that here in just a second. To get enough slack in this to finish the routing, I put a screwdriver through this hole in the tension bar, and there's a bar right above it, and I can pull it like this, and that takes the slack out. And then from there, we can hopefully finish putting this on the last pulley. Alright, holding that tensioner out, you can see I've got the belt on top of the left hydrostat, around the center pulley, back to the right. From there it goes all the way down to those tension pulleys, and then back up right here to the top pulley above the clutch. From here I've got to get this brake bar reattached, so that spring is going to go back on that bar. I'm just using a piece of line to pull it and then put it back in position, and I can untie it and slide it right out. And yeah, that's edge trimmer line that I used. Down. Voila. Now I can put the main mower belt back on here. And then we'll go back up to the front and reattach that. Go on this one last. There we go. Piece of cake.